In lesson 3.3, we're going to talk about writing a formula for a composite number. Alright? It's called the prime factorization formula. And it's similar to, kind of similar to, in science, writing the formula for a compound, like water. What's the formula for water? Ben?
H2O.
H2O. What does it mean? Go ahead, Ben.
2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen.
Yeah, 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule put together equals a molecule of water. This is called a compound then. And a compound contains elements. Now, in math, what we call a compound is a composite number. And the elements are the prime numbers that when you multiply them together, they equal the composite number. And so what we're going to be doing is writing the formula. First we have to find the formula. We have to find the prime numbers that go into the number. And then once we have all the prime numbers and how many, then we can write a formula for a number. So I'll give you an example here. And here's the procedure. First, you're given a number like 165. And you have to look at that number, and you have to figure out, by looking at it or by adding the digits, if what number could go into 165. So this is where we use those divisibility rules. The number ends in a 5, right? So you may not know how many times 5 goes into the number, but you know it's divisible by 5. So then what do? How would you find the number that goes into 100? How many times 5 goes into 165? Leo?
I don't know, but I know that 3 can go into it.
How many? We know that it ends in a 5, right? So we'll write a 5 here because 5 goes into 165, but we don't know what 5 times goes into it unless you do the math. So what you might have to do is actually do the division to find the next factor. Okay? To find what factor goes with 5. Right, and I know that you know it's 33. Right? 3 times 5 is 15. Remainder 1, bring down the 5. So this proves it. What's 5 times 33? Arthur?
165.
Right, 165. Now, next you have to look at the 2 numbers underneath and decide, are these numbers prime numbers? Is 5 prime?
Yes.
Yes. Yep, you can't make 5 with any other numbers other than 1 and 5. So circle that number because that's a prime number. But is 33 a prime number?
No.
No.
Yes.
How would you make 33? How can you make 33, Calvin?
That's 11.
3 times 11. Yep. Is 3 a prime number?
Yeah.
Is 11 a prime number?
Yeah.
Yes. Once you have all prime numbers, you're not done yet. What you have to do is look at, you write the formula for the number. You write the factors as a formula. So multiplying minus 1. Please be quiet and listen. You multiply the prime numbers together in a formula. 3 times 5 times 11. And when you write the formula, you should get the original number, 165. Okay? Now, when you're writing this formula, write the numbers in numerical order. Okay? Write the numbers in numerical order. So 3, 5, 11. 3 times 5 times 11. When they get bigger, that's what numerical order means. Okay? This is the formula. This is the answer to the question. The prime factorization of 165 is 3 times 5 times 11. Okay? Art.
Is that pretty much just 15 times 11?
It is, but 15 is not a prime number. So if you have 15 as one of the numbers, then you'd have to factor 15 and write what equals 15. Yep, and if you could check the answer, 3 times 5 is 15, and then 15 times 11 is 165. So then you know you have the right elements. You have the right numbers. Okay? Let's do one more. How would we factor, let's factor the number 48. All right? So the first thing you have to do is you have to find a number that goes into 48. Any number, okay? Any number that goes into 48. Keep on. 4. 4 times what is 48? 4 times 12. Good. Yep. Now, neither of these numbers are prime. In other words, there are numbers that go into both of these numbers. Okay? What numbers go into 4? How would we make 4? David? 2 times 2. And those are prime. We know those are prime, so circle those. How about 12? Myra?
2 times 6.
2 times 6. Good. And 2 is a prime number, but is 6 a prime number? No, because what number goes into 6? Shania? 3. So how would we make 6? 3 times 2. And those are prime, right? So now we've circled all the prime numbers. Now we have to write the formula. 48 is equal to what as a prime factorization? Well, we have all of these 2's. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? So how can we write that in a shorter way than writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? Rachel?
I forget.
What? Are you laughing at her? You better not be. Why are you laughing then? Okay, that's not going to be helpful. Okay? In fact, it's really distracting. And someone who can't hear that might think that you're laughing at them. Okay? Because they didn't hear what you said. Right? So you got to be conscious of that. Now, Rachel, we learned about exponents before, right? Writing numbers as powers. So, what power of 2 is this? 2 to the 4th power. Good. 2 to the 4th power. And we also have another number here we have to put in our formula. We have to put the 3 in the formula. Myra?
Times 3.
Times 3. This is the formula, the prime factorization is called, for 48. And notice that it's built with what? Both of these numbers are what? Prime numbers. You have to use prime numbers when you're writing a prime factorization, okay? You have to use prime numbers. Questions? Addie?
What happens if those 2's aren't 2? Would you not do 2 to the 4th power? If like one of the 2's is like 5 and one of the other 2 is like a 6.
Well, if it's a 6, we got to keep factoring. No, you don't have to have an exponent. Remember the first example we had? There's no exponents in this one. Just 3 times 5 times 11. So you don't have to have an exponent. If the number is only used once, then the exponent is 1, but that's assumed. We don't have to write the 1. We can see that there's only 1 3 and 1 5 and 1 11. Okay, so that's a good question. You don't, if they're only used once, if there's only one number, then there is no, you don't have to write the exponent, because it's just 1. But if there's 2 3s, then you'd write 3 squared. Okay? Arthur?
Can you do what you said, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3?
No, then you have to simplify it. Then you have to shorten the formula and write it using exponents. Okay? 45? Then you factor it differently. You use different numbers, right? So you would make 45 with 5 and 9. 5 is prime, but 9 is not prime. 9 is made with 3 and 3. 3 times 3.
So we do 5 times 3 times 3.
Well, you start with the smallest prime factor. How many 3's are there? So 3
So
to the second power times what? 5. Good. Yep. Okay. Now you have a worksheet to practice this. And I think you know how to do all of this now, okay? So finish the worksheet for tomorrow.
Both sides?